operation of the Shenzhou-13
能给我们讲讲它有什么样的亮点吗
？Can you tell us some of the highlights of the Shenzhou-13 manned spacecraft? For Shenzhou-13, if we compare it with Shenzhou-12, for the spacecraft and also the carrier rocket, they have done a lot of upgrade and also being waited for 6 months. And after 6 months, we are able to use the new spacecraft, and also we are preparing the backup carrier rocket and the manned spacecraft. So this is a new model for us to carry out the work. So if we want to continue to use this model, does that mean for the Shenzhou-14 we already ready? Yes. So right now the Shenzhou-14 is ready as well. So also for the Shenzhou-13 mission, any differences as for the launch compared to Shenzhou-12? If we look at the appearance of Shenzhou-13 spacecraft, is quite similar to Shenzhou-12 spacecraft. Any other highlights for the Shenzhou-13 spacecraft? As for the properties of the Shenzhou-13 spacecraft, actually it is somewhat similar with Shenzhou-12. So this model is actually quite vivid. So we will have the docking from the lower part of Shenzhou-13, and it requires a higher level of the difficulty. So for China, we would like to establish the work to construct the space station by 2022. So we have 11th flight mission. So the frequency is quite high, and also for the launch pad and the launch sites, what preparation have they done to prepare for the flight missions? Before Shenzhou-12 enter into the launch site, we also do a lot of renovation for the launch site. This will also lay a solid foundation for the future launch. So when we are doing this work, we also have a special team to work on the improvement of the launch site. So right now we are seeing the carrier rocket is inside of the tower. So what is the relations between the rocket and the tower? Why we want to cover up the rocket before the launch? So for the launch tower, it will provide a closed-off environment for the carrier rocket. We could adjust the temperature, and we are able to offer a very good environment for the spacecraft and the carrier rocket. And actually today, it's quite cold. It's about 8 Celsius degree. So as for this kind of weather, do you think it will have any impact for the launch of our manned spacecraft? So for our location, we will be affected by the north wind, and so maybe today the humidity is quite high, but temperature is not the key factor. We have to consider the scale of the wind. If the wind is too strong, it will have an impact on the lifting stage of the spacecraft. Because we are in the central area of the Gobi area, so we need to seize the ideal window of opportunity to launch the 13 manned spacecraft. So we have to consider the scale of the wind. So for the launch, during the launch, what area shall we pay attention to? For example, do we have any key timeline? So when we are checking the carrier rocket, we need to check the functionalities of the carrier rocket. And also we need to check the safety of the spacecraft. And also for the astronauts, the tachonauts, the entry of the tachonauts into the spacecraft is also a key area. So also we need to fill into the propeller for the spacecraft and the rocket. I have another question. Here I have a model for the space station. Can you tell us different parts that are forming the space station? Actually, we have a little bit different concept as compared to this model. For the two laboratory, we will launch these two next year. In the middle part, we have the core module, and also we are docking with the Tianzhou-2 and Tianzhou-3 cargo ship. So this time, as we also have a fast and automatic rendezvous and the docking, can you tell us whether we have some challenges? As for the timeline of the fast and automated rendezvous and the docking, I think we will not face a lot of challenges. Because this time we will do the docking from the front part. It is quite linear. And this time, as I said, the docking is from the lower part of the spacecraft. So maybe we have to control the speed. So after the spacecraft being launched to the space, so can we have sufficient power supply to support the complex comprising the Shenzhou-13 spacecraft, cargo ship, and also the Tianhe core module? So I have another question. As for the time, we actually launched Shenzhou-12 in daytime. Why we choose an evening hour to launch Shenzhou-13? Well, this is because we are heavily depending on the limitation of the orbits for the Tianhe core module. And also we have to consider the weather condition. The weather condition in the launch site and also the weather condition in different monitoring sites. So that's why we choose 023 as the time for the launch. So any challenge for our system for the launch? Any other preparation work? In order to ensure that the mission is a complete success, we have done a lot of preparation to make sure that we could launch the Shenzhou-13 at the time window. We have made a well-prepared contingency plan. So this time, during the 6-month stay in orbit, the tachonauts will also conduct 2 to 3 times of extravehicular activities. Any challenges for them? So actually, I'm not in charge for the mission. So maybe you could refer to other departments for more information.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for Mr. He to join us for this live show. And we are now at Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. This is the second space mission with astronauts on. So yeah, for more, we will keep you posted with the other experts on the rocket system later. So join us later. Back to you, back to the studio now. 哎，黄老师，一会儿。Welcome to CGTN's live streaming. This is Liu Jiaxin reporting at Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. We are here at the launch site at this Gobi Desert. As the only manned missions launch site, it has sent 12 taikonauts safely into space. And now this time it will send 3 more taikonauts, Zhai Zhigang, Wang, Yaping, and Guangfu, into the China space station for a 6-month stay. It's rather long and it's unprecedented in Chinese space history. Right now you can see the gleaming vehicle sits poised and peaceful out there at about 1,500 meters away. So earlier we just saw the taikonauts off from the Wentiangge, China's crew quarters at its Dongfeng Space City. The 3 taikonauts looked in very good condition. They are spiritual and very calm. So yesterday they saw the press for the first time, and also the audience across the world. This time Zhai Zhigang will be the commander of the Shenzhou-13 cruise mission, and he back in Shenzhou-7 mission, he's the commander as well, and he conducted China spacewalks for the first time. And also Wang Yaping is the first Chinese female taikonaut to conduct spacewalks this time. Ye Guangfu, even though it's his maiden flight on Shenzhou-13, he's actually very experienced in international training, because he has done he has participated in the European Space Agency's training called CAVERS in Italy. Yeah, and he speaks fluent English. And actually China is looking forward to the international cooperation with more countries, and China has already signed contracts with multiple countries like France, Germany, and the USA, United Nations Space Agency, as well as Pakistan. Yeah, as China Space Station puts into operation, actually more. Yeah, right now, yeah, actually more. There's more more cooperation will be expected. So in addition to the mission, the 3 taikonauts will conduct the experiments. These crews will carry out 2 to 3 spacewalks during the whole process and during the 6-month stay, and give science lectures, and also to verify some key technologies, including the use of robotic arms, extravehicular activities, and many new technologies that's not nearly easy to describe. So for later, we will be joined by an expert from the rocket system to talk about the new highlights of the Long March 2F Y-13 rocket. As it designated for the manned space mission, the Long March 2F rocket have already sent 12 taikonauts into space safely, and have sent 14, have carried out 14 missions. Here at Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center, for those who had just joined our live streaming, this is China's northwestern Gobi Desert. Tonight it's rather cold. The temperature is 8 degrees Celsius, but experts said the weather won't be the problem for the launch, and it's only about less than 2 hours before the launch. So we look forward to this moment very much. In this 6-month stay, the journey will take about 3 taikonauts Zhai Zhigang, Wang Yaping, and Guangfu into the space station. So it will be Wang Yaping's maiden visit to the China's space station. Earlier she has done some lectures, science lectures to the audience on Shenzhou-13 mission, and many students on Earth were inspired by her lectures on some physical experiments. And this time she will also be a space teacher, and rather she will be the first Chinese taikonaut to conduct spacewalks. So this 6-month stay actually for taikonauts is rather long, and it's unprecedented. Earlier we spoke to the head of the astronaut trainer, Wang, and she said that it brought more challenges to them this time. And based on the experience of Shenzhou-12 mission, Shenzhou-13 definitely, brings more challenge, because they're going to stay twice the time of the Shenzhou-12 mission. So for this half of year stay, the taikonauts will for the first time spend their Chinese New Year, as well as many other traditional festivals out there in space. So hopefully, the Earth has, hopefully China has sent some gifts to them for this special festivals. And rather, some many trainings have been enhanced to them in terms of their physical and mental health. Each one of them, no matter it's a female or a male taikonaut, will be going under the tolerance of 8 times of their own weight. So yeah, really, they have strengthened their training, and this task is going to be real challenging for them. Okay, well, back to the background of these 3 crews. And 50-year-old Zhai Zhigang will be the commander of this Shenzhou-13 mission, and Wang Yaping, 41-year-old, also an inexperienced taikonaut who's been on the flight in Shenzhou-10 mission, and Guangfu as his maiden flight in Shenzhou-13. He will also find this voyage really exciting. So we just saw them off from the Ventian Pavilion, and we saw them enter the elevator out there on the pad, and they will go to the height of about 50 meters, and then enter the spacecraft of Shenzhou-13. Yes. So hopefully our experts from the rocket system. Okay. All right. So please just give us a moment as our expert is preparing for the live streaming this Long March rocket. Wait a sec. Okay, so the Long March this time the launch rocket remains to be the Long March 2F rocket, and this rocket is right now covered by the launch pad, and after about 1 hour. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Wait a sec. Okay. Yes. So later we'll be honored to have Zhang Zhi, Chief